Hi, it's Rika. I decided to restart an old series of mine where I badly explain the stories and ride-throughs of my personal favorite dark rides and attractions. This time I'm cheating a bit because this attraction isn't a dark ride, but rather a roller coaster. Yes, the Flying Dutchman. This water coaster was built by Kumbak, a new ride manufacturer which branched off of Vekoma. It was the first full roller coaster that they ever built. And unfortunately also the last. Flying Dutchman had numerous troubles during construction, like the boat couldn't get over the horseshoe, and also the anti-rollback system was completely fucked and unusable. So Efteling couldn't open the ride that season. Kumbak kept failing to correct this issue, so the Efteling decided to send Kumbak back to whatever clown college they came from, and the Efteling, together with Intamin and a huge roll of duct tape, managed to fix the issue. A lot more went wrong with this ride before it opened, and I can't go into all of them, but here are some honorable mentions. A lot of the effects on the lift hill, like the huge figureheads, had to be covered up and later removed because you could basically kinda touch them from the boat. And the water was way too dirty from all the sand being pulled up by the boat hitting the water, so the Efteling had to drain and put concrete everywhere. When the ride finally opened for public on June 17th, 2007, the ride broke down so frequently that they had to encase a concrete barrier around the chain so they didn't have to drain the entire lake to get to it. In short, it was an absolute shit show. Now that the way too long intro is over, let's get to the ride itself. You enter a gorgeous late 1600 building. Like seriously, this thing is gorgeous. I love this theming about the Flying Dutchman. And inside you enter Willem van der Dekke's house, a successful VOC sailor. He is super rich, but also a huge dick, secretly plundering and hoarding treasure and money. The walls are all burned up, and every once in a while you see and hear Willem in the mirror in the library. You can also hear his wife bitching about why he hasn't come back for over a year, but you know, those are rookie details. Then you enter a huge ass painting, and behind it is a spoon dug tunnel made by Willem to secretly leave his house and go out with the bros. And also store all his stolen shit. The tunnel is very dark and is lined with all kinds of obstacles like barrels and stuff, which, because it's so dark, you trip over very easily and you walk against them. To further spoil what happened to Willem later on, the entire ceiling catches on fire every once in a while, and you can actually smell burned up wood. It's a really cool effect, I like it a lot. Willem's tunnel eventually ends up in a bar, because when a dude digs a tunnel, it's gonna be to a bar. While you hear drunken men singing, you head further to parts of the bar and finally enter the duel station where you either go left or right. And holy shit, I love this station. It's a beautiful depiction of a 1679 coastal village. Also, Willem explains throughout the queue that he doesn't want to stop here. He wants to sail out again and get even more ridiculously rich and steal more shit. So he really wants to sail out on Easter, which is forbidden by law, and also Jesus really doesn't like that for some reason. I feel like this might be a reason to curse someone, and also because Willem is greedy as hell. When you get into one of the 11 boats, you will experience what happens to him next. So you, against everyone's warnings too, sail out on Easter. After a calming departure next to some other ships, you enter the open sea, and immediately get screamed at by seagulls. Before just being ass blasted by a shit ton of mist. Like seriously, you have to breathe this stuff, it's that bad. This is where the ride changes a bit. Normally you'd see a dark, empty room with water curtains and a projection. But this practically never worked. So you'd hear very epic music while sitting in a pitch black room. Luckily the Efteling changed it this year and added those long lost figureheads. Lightning bolts shoot down out of the sky, striking the water and lighting up the graveyard of ships. And I personally love this change so much, it's super cool. Although, I miss the water curtains raining down from the Dutchman. Speaking of Dutchman, there he is. Willem's cursed burning ship that also has to sail forever. It eats up your boat, and you get dropped down a slope and head back up the lift hill. But not before breaking your back on the Elmer glued duct tape ragged anti-rollback system that is designed to give kids taller than 1.20 m permanent spine disfigurement. In the meantime, we see the final depiction of Willem. This time he has had enough of this shit and turned into a creepy skeleton man. The boat rides out of the tower, followed by a brief but fun coaster track. And ends spectacularly with a very mild 3 water droplet splash. Honestly, a true masterpiece.